After students find out about their school custodian's secret talent, his life takes an unexpected turn that no one could have predicted. Mark, a school custodian, was known for his dedication to keeping the school clean and safe for the students. He always went above and beyond his duties, making sure that everything was in its proper place and that the floors sparkled like diamonds. One day, as Mark was making his rounds, he noticed a mysterious slick black box left behind in one of the classrooms. He picked it up and inspected the beautiful box carefully, intending to return it to its owner. It read, "Property of Nicholas Tiram." Mark intended to put the box aside for safekeeping before returning it, but the curiosity of what could be in this intriguing box came over Mark, and he opened it. Inside was a set of expensive ink pens. Mark wrapped the box in a rag and cautiously put it in his pocket, planning on finding Nicholas and giving it to him the following day. As students piled into the classrooms the following morning, Mark kept an eye out for Nicholas Tiram. He saw the kid walking down the hallway to his morning class and yelled, "Nicholas!" Nicholas didn't turn around and continued walking. "Nicholas Tiram, wait!" The kid turned around to see Mark quickly pacing towards him. "I have your luxury ink pens. You left them behind yesterday." Nicholas smiled and shrugged. "Oh, thank you, Mr. Custodian," said Nicholas. "Always happy to help. Call me Mark," responded Mark whilst handing the box to the kid. "What do you use them for anyway? Do regular pens not suit your fancy?" asked Mark. "We had a calligraphy class this trimester. They're pretty much useless to me now that it's over," replied Nicholas. "Nicholas, you know that pens like these could be used to create beautiful ink art. Back in my day, I would dream of something like that. You should try it out. The results are incredible," said Mark. Nicholas looked at Mark for a second. "Do you know how to draw using these?" asked Nicholas. "I did lots of ink art back in the day, but I never got to use such sophisticated pens. Anyways, it was a long time ago," responded Mark. "You should keep them. I have no use for them anymore," said Nicholas. "Oh, I couldn't possibly do that. They must have cost a fortune," said Mark. "I wouldn't want them to go to waste. Instead of repaying me, why don't you show me your art instead? I'd love to see what my pens will be used for," said Nicholas. Mark tried to protest, but the kid turned away and said he was late for class. Later, Mark went home and began sketching as promised. He didn't know where to start, but soon enough, he got his roll on and drew all through the night. Mark wanted to impress Nicholas, to show him that his gift didn't go to waste. The next morning, Mark went to school nervous. He was anxious to show the student his work, as he never really shared his sketches with anyone. He loved creating art, but was always scared of ridicule and rejection, so he always kept it to himself. His little secret, something he did just for himself. As lunch came around, Mark returned to his office, awaiting Nicholas to show him the sketches he had done the night before. Nicholas appeared 5 minutes after. As soon as he caught a glimpse of Mark's sketchbook, he was blown away by the talent he saw on the page. The student couldn't believe that the school custodian Mark was a gifted artist. Word quickly spread throughout the school, and soon everyone was talking about Mark's hidden talent. Students and teachers alike were eager to see his art, and they begged him to share more of his work. At first, Mark was hesitant. For years, Mark had kept his art hidden, tucked away in his sketchbooks, and never shown to anyone. He enjoyed the process of creating, the feeling of the pencil on the paper, and the way his drawings seemed to come to life under his hands. But he never dared to share his work with anyone, not even his closest friends or family members. As more people began to learn about his talent, Mark felt flattered, yet afraid. He loved the feeling of being seen and validated by being praised for his art, but he also feared that older people would reject him and criticize his work, since they were not as easy to impress. One day, after washing the classrooms tirelessly during the lunch break, Mark returned to his office only to notice that his sketchbook had gone missing. He searched every drawer of his desk, but with no success. The sketchbook was gone. He felt helpless, thinking he had somehow misplaced it somewhere, even though he always made a point to be extremely organized. Mark's birthday was coming the following day, and he was already sad that he had to celebrate it all alone. And now his most prized possession had disappeared, which only further rained on his parade. Mark came to school the next day and went to the Great Hall, which he cleaned first, right after the morning assembly. To his surprise, the hall was full of people who crowded around the furthest wall, which was highly unusual. Anxiously, Mark shyly walked forward toward the crowd of people to see what the commotion was about. Upon taking a closer look, Mark saw his sketches. They were all over the wall. Someone yelled out, "Mr. Mark, over here!" Mark turned his gaze to see little Nicholas waving from far away. Mark speedily walked over to Nicholas. He seemed furious and wanted to tell Nicholas off for this crazy display, but before he could say anything, Nicholas yelled into the crowd, "Attention, everyone! A couple of students and I put this exhibition together earlier this morning in honor of our custodian Mark's birthday. We loved his artwork and thought that the world deserved to see it on this special day." The crowd turned to look at Mark and began to applaud. Mark was at a loss. He didn't know what to do. Everyone began coming up to Mark, asking him questions about his art and inspirations and congratulating him. It wasn't until then that he saw the impact that his art had on others that he began to realize the true power of his talent. People were inspired by his work, moved by the emotion and beauty that he was able to capture on the page. They saw something in his drawings that he had never even noticed himself, and it gave him courage. Soon after, the student left to go to class, but some parents stayed behind. The crowd became more scarce, and Mark had the opportunity to look at the whole composition in unison. He never imagined that his work would be displayed to such a big crowd. A man wearing a white blazer approached Mark from behind and introduced himself. Turns out, the man was a father to one of the kids at school and also a local art critic. He explained that once he saw Mark's sketches on display at school, he was immediately struck by the raw talent and emotional depth of the drawings. He carefully examined each piece, marveling at the intricate details and the way that Mark captured the essence of his subjects. The critic was so impressed by Mark's work that he decided to write a glowing review in the local newspaper. He praised Mark's use of light and shadow, his attention to detail, and the way that he was able to convey a sense of mood and emotion in each of his pieces. The review quickly caught the attention of art collectors and galleries from all over the country. They were eager to see more of Mark's work and to find out more about the man behind the art. The principal of the school saw the potential in Mark's talent and offered him a scholarship to attend an art school. At first, Mark was hesitant. He had never considered pursuing art as a career, and the idea of going back to school was daunting. But with the encouragement of his friends and colleagues, he decided to take a chance. It wasn't easy, but Mark worked hard at his craft and quickly began to excel. His professors saw his potential and helped him hone his skills. Before he knew it, he was graduating with honors and was ready to make his mark in the art world. Years later, Mark was a successful artist known for his stunning landscapes and portraits. He never forgot his roots, though, and still made time to visit the school where he got his start. He hoped that his story would inspire others to pursue their passions, no matter how unlikely they may seem. And so, the school custodian whose hidden talent shocked everyone and changed his life forever became an inspiration to all who knew him. His story was a reminder that sometimes the greatest treasures are the ones that we keep hidden within ourselves, waiting to be discovered.